Are you and your company aligned to take advantage of the growth that is going to be taking place in the UAE in the years to come? Hi, my name is Ramis Halou. I'm the founder and keynote speaker at the Academy for Sales Excellence, where I simply help companies sell more, sell faster, and profitably. Today I have with me some special guests. I have Abdul Muttalib Hashim, also known as Talib. Hi, Talib.
Marhaba, Ramesh.
How are you?
Thank you. Very good.
Talib is actually an emiratization expert right here in the UAE market. Also, Talib was a member of the team that was responsible for brainstorming the Dubai strategic plans for 2021. So to share some insights with us about how to align our company to these goals. Also with me is Amal Loring here from MBD. How are you, Amal?
Great. Good to be here again, and thank you very much for having Talib and I on the show today.
It's a pleasure. Actually, for those of you who don't know Amal, Amal actually is known as the cultural expert right here in the UAE market. She helps organizations become more efficient and effective by learning how to bridge the cultural gaps among the different members. So great. It's excellent to have you here with us. So very quickly, I guess, Talib, maybe you can share with us some of the insights into how is it that organization can align their actions to be ready to take advantage of the growth that is coming in the years to come in the UAE and Dubai market specifically.
Yeah, sure, Ramesh. I believe the key to success for organizations to actually maximize their opportunities here in Dubai in the next 5 to 6 years at least is through aligning themselves first with the government and its vision and its strategy. The second is for organizations' ability to actually attract national talent at strategic roles who will actually act as bridges, who will actually engage the community and help drive this alignment between the organization's objectives and the government's strategy and vision, which is very important. And the third, which probably is the most important and really is the motivation behind the strategic alliance we have between myself and Amal, and that is the organization's ability to actually put their finger on the pulse in terms of understanding the underlying culture in the UAE and the culture of the market they operate in.
Great. You said alignment, hiring the right Emiratis to engage with the local communities and government, and then you said cross-cultural, working and putting your finger on the pulse. So let's talk a bit about alignment, Talib. And can you share with me an example of how is aligning yourself to the government's vision and mission actually creates opportunities?
I'll share with you a recent experience. I was approached by an international university that is actually looking at tapping into a key opportunity here, and that is the government's announcement of this year being the year of innovation. And one of the things I told them is that this whole idea of innovation and the creative economy was not born by accident, and it wasn't really something that the government had come out with very recently. It was actually mentioned in Dubai Strategic Plan 2015, and in it the government mentioned as a key priority that is to transform the government of Dubai into a knowledge economy, into a creative economy. This year, we've seen the government announce the year of innovation, and hence we're seeing a lot of organizations now look at adopting a smart government. We're seeing international institutions looking to tap into these opportunities. So I think if organizations actually understood and appreciated the importance of the government strategy and the vision which it actually highlights and announces to the public, and if they follow that, I think it would present a lot of opportunities. We have a saying in Arabic which says, my uncle always says that, and it's man sabaqa labaq. Strategic thinking and strategic planning is all about envisioning the future today, and the government here in Dubai has done that. So I think that's one key example where the government actually has announced its path and its direction, and organizations can really maximize the opportunity of success if they understand it and get in first.
I mean, when you think of of opportunities. One of the things we teach in strategic selling is actually looking exactly at the vision and goals of organizations, and then aligning certain, let's say, resources to help their clients achieve their goals. Because what's the purpose of a company innovating and coming up with products if it's not to help a client at the end? So, similar thing here. The government is the big client, and let's see what do they want and how can we help them get there, and of course that creates the right opportunities. So wonderful. So tell me a little bit about the second point, which is hiring Emiratis. And one thing that we know here too, some organization would look at, I have to hit my quota. So today, tell me why should I hire an Emirati? What's the value as opposed to just ticking the box?
Ramesh, that's a very good question, and actually that question is the inspiration behind the work I'm doing at the moment. What I've been doing, Ramesh, is that the last 9 years I've been working with organizations and people to help them achieve this thing called Emiratization. Unfortunately, there is a widespread perception that Emiratization is all about quotas. And what I've been trying to do is really shift that thinking from just quotas to answering a key question. How can hiring an Emirati drive my business goals? How can an Emirati actually help me become successful in the UAE? That is the underlying question every organization wants to know. And that is what we actually are working on doing, and that's what we try to help organizations to do. And that is by having Emiratis in strategic roles that can actually understand the dynamics of the country, the underlying culture, and actually drive the growth of an organization. And plus, Ramesh, being an Emirati opens the doors to a lot of opportunities. We're a small community, we know each other, and helping each other is actually something we're proud of doing, and we make it a point to do.
Last but not least is looking at the insights of culture and putting our finger on the pulse. So maybe I can ask Amal here to share some insights in terms of, Amal, how can you help organizations in terms of ensuring that bridge is there's a link between the various cultures in this market?
Well, the first thing to say is that this part of the world is very unique in that we have over 203 different nationalities here. Now, as a manager, as a supervisor, as a team leader, how do I motivate different people from different nationalities? How do I manage conflict? How do I build a cohesive team that best serves the organisation, but also is able to serve and be responsive to the market? The interesting factor is that between 20 and 45% of executives who go to an organisation outside of their home country fail and return home after 2 years, and the number one reason that's stated is because they couldn't cut the culture.
25 to
40%.
Wow, that's
now
a
that's
number.
but also it's a huge cost to the organisation.
Absolutely.
A cost on the bottom line, but also opportunity cost. So the other factor is that up to 30% of the UAE nationals who are employed in the private sector also will walk away stating that they weren't able to adapt to the culture, or more importantly, the organisation didn't embrace them as part of that cultural plethora that they have.
So it feels like there is a two-sided coin. One side is those executives coming into the UAE market aren't, a significant amount of them are not able to adapt to the local culture or to the varieties of cultures that exist within a certain organization, like back in my home country. That's how they would always look back at it. So there has to be a certain level of, I would say, level of understanding, education, and then willingness to adapt to the current.
And it's adapting that business model at every level, from strategic thinking to marketing to sales to communication. And that's where we work jointly with organizations, both in the talent acquisition, in the strategic alignment, and also working with the other nationalities, and even organizations, SMEs, who have maybe 50 people. 50% of that is still different nationalities.
Right. I mean, it still is a big investment, a big
Yes.
cost, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate to see. The second part of the statistic you said is people joining Emiratis joining organizations. You said one of the reasons why they might not stay there is because they feel the company isn't embracing them. So now
Yes,
I'm working with
yeah.
with a foreign organization, and that foreign organization really isn't understanding my cultural background, the way that what I value. Could you give us an example of typical mistakes that whether Westerners make working here in the UAE or vice versa?
One that I can think of that just happened to me yesterday was a friend of mine from the UK. It was going for a job interview with a bank, and his interview was with an Emirati. And the Emirati during the interview said, so what do you think your father would think of you joining the bank? Now,
it's a natural question in this part of the world, especially
yeah, but very unusual in the UK, and it really floored him. And it was like, well, I don't really care what my father thinks. And then the interview carried on. But really, what impression did that make on the Emirati, who comes from a collective society amongst many other GCC nationals? What impression did that leave that he didn't care? And conversely, if that Emirati went to a Western organisation, the fact that there's no reference to the family or these type of things, family values, and the importance of the organisation is image.
That can repel a person. That can say,
exactly.
well, I don't belong here, they don't understand me. And that just keeps creating the friction. And it's one needs the other, but then it's how do we bridge the gap? How do we create that understanding? So we got the alignment, we got the hiring right, and then it's really about connecting the dots and where the rubber hits the road. It's really that piece where we're working with different individuals.
And of course, these have real business benefits because you're increasing people's effectiveness, their performance, and their productivity, which obviously hits the bottom line.
Absolutely. So thanks a lot for being on the show here today. This has been a very short value-added segment where we bring in some relevant local insights to help our viewers here take advantage of the upcoming growth coming up. So if you'd like to learn more about how can Amal and Talib help you and your organization take advantage of the growth coming up, feel free to contact them at the information that is listed right here below. I am convinced that they'll add value to help you achieve your goals for years to come. Until soon, sell more, sell faster, and profitably.